We're live. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is Loshak in the Bag show for a Wednesday afternoon, February 21st. And you know what that means, Jim? We have to wrap this up 5 minutes early before the hour, right?
Oh,
right,
I forgot about that.
I think it's 10.
10 minutes before the hour. All right. So
Okay.
that would not be a huge issue, except I have a ton of friggin' plays here, Jimmy the Bag. Ton of friggin' plays in college basketball. So let's get to it right away. Let me just pull it, because the most important thing is these comments, which I live for. You know what I'm saying?
I certainly do.
The only people who have a clue what the hell we're doing in these shows are the commenters and the viewers. So the most important thing is let me pick up the chat here, and then I will. And the second most important thing is going to be the college basketball stuff. I'm just going to run right through it, and then we'll look up and see what time it is then, and then we'll have the rest of the show after I do that. But I got a lot of friggin' stuff here, Jim. A lot of friggin' stuff here.
Yeah,
okay?
so do I. How do you want to handle things? You want to?
Let me just go down the line, and then we'll get into some in-game analysis. But I got to get all my shit out, okay?
Sure, and then I'll go down my line.
Yes, and you'll go down your line. Okay, Georgetown Xavier. Lean to the first half over, but I'm not going to take that one. I'm expecting a lot of overs, and especially first half overs today, Jim. Georgia, South Carolina, pass. Seton Hall, Providence. I did not give a pick on that in the morning, but we did see now the line moves back in Providence's favor. I bet Providence. I didn't give Providence in the morning, did I? I held off on it.
You held off, I believe.
Yeah. All right, I'm giving it right now. Providence at the least in the full game. That would be we'll see what happens here. It's now back up a little bit at Pinnacle. Providence -1 plus 100. Providence -1 plus 100. That is the current line at Pinnacle. Again, it went up to Seton Hall. Now it's back down. Now there's money coming in on Seton Hall. And Providence is, both these teams, as we've seen, can be very up and down. Some great wins against impressive competition and some duds, right, Jim?
Yeah, they have.
Absolutely.
They've both done the job at home generally.
Yes. Moving on, George Mason and St. Joseph's. I definitely have a lean to St. Joe's at -8, and I also have a lean to the over and the first half over. Let me just quickly definitely give the first half over on this one. George Mason, St. Joe's. First half over. Sorry, I'm going to be very efficient with time here, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
Do your thing,
I'm just going to
man.
motor on, but I'm going to speak clearly, and so everyone can understand, and then we'll figure out what we want to do after that. Okay, George Mason, St. Joseph's. First half over, 69.5. First half over, 69.5, -110. That's a market line. I was also leaning St. Joe's -8. Jimmy the Bag, 2 seconds. Did you happen to look at that game at all? Or
Which one?
St. Joe's, George Mason?
No, I never got to George Mason.
All right, I am definitely leaning St. Joe's -8 on that one. Fairfield, Siena, that is going to be a pass for me. Duquesne, St. Bonaventure. Interesting that Duquesne has taken money. Jim, 2 seconds. You know why Duquesne has taken money? Is someone out for St. Bonaventure?
Nobody's out for St. Bonaventure. I mean, just that early line was just too big. And this could be a letdown spot for the Bonnies after their huge emotional victory.
Yes. I'm taking the first half over on this one as well. Duquesne, St. Bonaventure. First half over. It's a split line, 70 or 70.5. So I'm going to take first half over, 70, -110. We're chugging along. We're motoring along here. Fordham-Davidson, a very interesting game. Of course, Fordham can be very low scoring. They could score 15 points in the first half and 40 in the game. But I was thinking this total is just a little bit too low, Jimmy the Bag. Just a little bit too low, Jimmy the Bag. I'm going to take the first half over on this one as well. Fordham-Davidson. First half over, I bet it at 61. It's now 61 or 61.5. But first half over, 61 -115 at Heritage is the best line right now. It's 61.5 everywhere else, but 61 -115. Also a lean to the full game over on that one, but I don't quite want to double up on it. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, an interesting game. We'll get Jim's opinion on that one. I have a feeling he looked into that one. Some people gave the opinion that Oklahoma State might have value as a home dog. Penn State, Michigan State. I did give Penn State in the morning show, didn't I? Or did I hold off?
I didn't watch I was
yes,
so overloaded, so I didn't
don't
go
remember.
back.
I did bet Penn State at -3, and I do like Penn State here, although the line has gotten bet up. Not sure if I want to add it at -4 or 4.5, which is where it is right now. But I will I'll review when we get into the next part, and if I didn't give Penn State, I will come back and give it. Virginia Tech, I did give that one, didn't I? Money line. I did give that one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about adding on the first half on that one as well. Virginia, Georgia Tech, pass. Canisius, Niagara. Of course, we know there's an injury for Niagara. Line moving in Canisius' favor. I was thinking about taking a shot with the under on this one. Jim, 2-second analysis. What do you think about maybe taking a shot with the under? You think Niagara is going to be more modest scoring with Scott out?
Yeah, Scott, I would also, I mean, you got to put a line through their 105-89 win against Canisius last time. 15 for 26 from 3. They went 5 for 20 from 3 last time. We know they do shoot better at home.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking about the under. I'll hold off on that one for now. SMU, East Carolina. I already gave East Carolina as a pick. UNC, Syracuse. A lot of people, everyone loving North Carolina. Jim already gave North Carolina. I was thinking about an under here, even though the total has gotten bet up. What do you think about a play on the under, Jim?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting spot, man. I respect it.
All right, I'm going to hold off on it and think about it. VCU, UMass, definitely leaning over and definitely leaning the first half over on that one as well. And I think that I'll keep that as a lean right now, but I'm definitely leaning that way and over in VCU and UMass. Moving on down the line, Evansville, Indiana State pass. Richmond, George Washington. I did already give George Washington as a play, and I think I might give the first half on George Washington as well. Let me just quickly find the line on that one. I'm kind of liking George Washington here, and
thank God, Native Queen is here.
Oh, thank God! I will give that one George Washington first half -2. -105. That is the current line at Bookmaker. -2, -105. And also not totally understanding why this line has gotten bet down as far as the total is concerned. I understand that Richmond can slow things down at times, but I was leaning over on this one, and I'm going to think about what I want to do here. Moving on down the line later. Wichita State, Tulane, definitely going to take. What do you think, Jim? First half over, Tulane, Wichita State, definitely taking that one. I've had success taking Wichita State overs and first half overs. I would also have a lean to the full game over as well, but I'll start off right now just with the first half over. It's a split line, 73 or 73.5. I'll take the 73 right now at Bookmaker, -110. Wichita State, first half over. I remember there were a few shows ago where someone, I gave like 50 picks, and there was a guy who said, "What's your favorite pick, Loshak?" And I said it was the Wichita State first half over on that day, and that one wound up cashing fairly comfortably. Tulane can definitely be a higher scoring team, and just not that high of a total, I feel, for Wichita State. First half over, I'm taking that one. Bradley, Missouri State. I already gave Bradley as a pick in the morning show. Drake, Illinois State. I already gave Illinois State as a pick in the morning show, and I would also have a pretty solid lean here to the under on this one. It is curiously headed up a little bit, though, at Pinnacle. It opened at 149, headed down. Now it's headed back up. Intertops has 149, which makes me a little bit concerned. Jim, 2 seconds. Did you look at that game?
Sorry, I was
Drake, Illinois State. Did you look at that game?
No, I never got to Drake.
I gave Illinois State as a play, and I'm definitely leaning under.
I certainly don't trust Drake on the road, though.
Right. And Drake has been a very modest scoring team. All right, this makes me nervous because I don't like the recent movement that is headed to the over, but I'll throw on the full game under here. Illinois State under. 149 -110. Intertops offering the best line on that one. Under 149 -110. Loyola Southern Illinois. That is going to be a pass for me. TCU Iowa State. Big move here, Jimmy the Bag. I did give Iowa State as a pick in the morning show. It has now moved significantly in my favor, and I'm taking it back. Taking it back, Jimmy the Bag. Wow. I'm taking TCU -5, -103. I'm just not exactly. Look, Iowa State. We've seen teams that can, especially on the first game off an injury, they can have a 6-man rotation and hang the whole game. And that might happen here. But it just makes me a little bit too nervous. I'm taking it back. TCU -5, -103. In the morning show, I think I gave it at 6 or 6.5. I don't remember. I think it might have been just 6, or maybe it was 5.5. But I am pulling it back, and I don't have a risk of getting middled because I gave a better line. What's your first 2-second thought on that, Jim?
I've capped that game, and
you really like Iowa State here.
I made it a pick. I sent the bet in. I mean, I just like the way they've been playing at home, and I can break down the game if you'd like.
The guy who's out for personal reasons is going to be playing. He's been upgraded to probable, but the other guy, the Weiler Bab guy, or whatever the hell his name is out for the year, and the other guy's out for the year too.
Let me go over those injuries.
Nick something Babb. I forgot
Wheeler
his name.
Babb.
His name escapes me. Alabama Auburn. I did give Alabama earlier in the show at plus 8.5, and that has taken U-shaped line movement, Jimmy the Bag. It's now down to 7.5 market wide. Alabama taking money. That's a good sign for us.
It's a great sign.
Kind of good sign for us. Slight lean to the under on that one as well, but I'm going to hold off for now. DePaul and Villanova. I did give DePaul as an official. Didn't I? Or I don't remember if I gave DePaul. Jimmy definitely gave DePaul as an official play. And this is one of the 2 games, Big East games, not understanding why these totals are as low as they are. This one and the St. John's Marquette, not understanding why the totals are as low as they are. I'm leaning over on both of these, and I think I will definitely at least start out with the DePaul Villanova First half over. Villanova likes to run.
They certainly do.
DePaul can run. I'm going to take the first half over on this one, 73 minus 105. That is the current line at BetOnline, sportsbetting.ag. And then St. John's Marquette, not taking the side, but again, not understanding why this total is so low and appears to be headed down just a little bit. Pinnacle has 153.5, juice to the under, minus 118. Jimmy the Bag, quickly, 5 seconds. Any idea why this St. John's Marquette total is so low, and do you think it should be a little higher?
That was a tough total, man. Marquette's been slowing their pace down, and we know that St. John's can defend the perimeter. We also know that Mullen made a important note that he wanted to speed up all transition plays.
Right.
It's a tough spot, man.
It is a tough spot. All right, I'm going to think about that. And
Mr. Gogster's on the Marquette over.
He is on the Marquette over. Okay, I'm just thinking about this. So Marquette is slowing shit down, Jim?
They are, and their best scorer is out.
Yes, but they are slowing shit down. How do you know that? You read it.
I've just been following their pace.
Yes.
Yeah, they're slowing shit down, and especially tonight.
Okay, slowing shit down. All right, I'll think about this. 9 o'clock games and on. I did not have a chance to get to the totals on any of those. Iowa, Minnesota, pass. Tennessee, I believe I gave Tennessee as a play in the morning show. I believe I gave them on the money line. If they didn't, I will give them here. It's down to 4, but I think Tennessee more likely than not to take it. Wake Forest and Pittsburgh. I did give Pittsburgh on the first half in the morning show, and I was going to give the full game as well. It was 10. I was hoping to get to 10.5. It's not. It's now 9.5 market wide, Jim the Bag. I'm going to double up on it. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I could have had 10 in the morning. I'm not going to get it, but I think they're going to give everything they got here to do their best. They're at home. They're against a team that's not going to blow them out as much as other ACC teams will. I'm going to take Pittsburgh plus 9.5 minus 106. Texas and Kansas State. I can't remember if I gave Kansas State as a pick. I think I did. I'm leaning that way as well. Louisville, Duke. I definitely gave Louisville on the first half, right? And I'm thinking about giving the full game as well at plus 11. Colorado State. I gave that one full game as an official play, and that has moved in my favor. I think in the morning show I gave it at 8. It's now down to 7 or 7.5, so I'm liking that one. Tulsa. Controversial pick. I did give that one out on the money line at like minus 123 or something. UCF is an impressive team. Tulsa's scrappy. There were some people in the morning show who said they disagreed with that play, but I gave it, and I'm going to stick with it right now. Similarly, I did give Air Force at plus 8. That line is not moved. Air Force is significantly worse than San Diego State, but they have a way of hanging around at home, and I'm going to take that one similar to Colorado State. Just feels a few too many points at home. And, of course, the big possible no-brainer, low-hanging fruit of the day might be San Jose State against Nevada. I doubled up on that one, plus 12.5 on the first half, and the full game at plus 21.5. That line, a little bit surprisingly, has not moved. Of course, Nevada has, their leading scorer is out. They've been doing well with him out so far. Look, going ahead, they probably will be okay without him. But this is not a game where they're going to leave it all on the court. It is probably a game where San Jose State's going to come in and give it all 110%. So I doubled up on San Jose State. And I also took UNLV minus, I took them on the money line actually, but it was minus 1.5 in the morning. And now that is up to 2 or 2.5 market wide. So that's my entire take on the card. Again, in addition to the morning show picks, I've now added Pittsburgh plus 9.5, Villanova first half over 73, Illinois State under 149, George Washington first half minus 2, Fordham Davidson first half over 61, Providence minus 1, George Mason St. Joe's first half over 69.5, Duquesne St. Bonnie first half over 70, Wichita State first half over 73, and TCU minus 5, taking back my pick from the morning show of Iowa State. All right, now we're at about 6:18 Eastern time, right, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah.
Now let's go to you. What would you like to hit us with for today's college basketball card, Jim the Bag?
Well, first of all, I think I may have made a mistake on Iowa State, and
I don't know.
I have not made it an official play. We did see how well and how fast they played without Wheeler Babb in the lineup. Cameron Lard is going to have to do everything. He will be the biggest guy on the floor. I'm curious to see what the chat thinks about the Iowa State TCU game. TCU's won one of their last 7 road games. Iowa State's won 4 of their last 6 at home. Wins over Oklahoma, West Virginia, Texas Tech, and Baylor. I mean, those are quality teams. Iowa State has no excuse for the 20-point loss at TCU on January 17th, but they're a different team now. But they're a banged-up team now, and I feel like I may have made a mistake. Bet Abroad is talking about Iowa here. He says,
That was an interesting line. They were who are they? Who the hell are they playing? Minnesota, right? I thought that Iowa was a good bet at +3, and that has now gone down to 1 or 1.5. I was definitely leaning Iowa, and I might add that one on because the guy's making an educated guy's telling us that he likes Iowa. Iowa wins by 9 or whatever. I was definitely leaning Iowa, and I have not discussed it too much, but that's definitely a bet that I made and a pick that I'm liking as well, Jim the Bag.
I like it too. I think that Iowa's in a good spot there. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to stay off. I'm not going to make a play yet on. Okay. Scott Sendelbach saying take Iowa State. Jimmy Cyclones nail at home. Alex Mulberry's on Iowa State. Melee Payless Ways on Iowa State. I like getting the points. It's surprising that the market has been going. The line's getting worse for Iowa State when they're dealing with all these injuries.
Yeah. You mean or you mean right? Better meaning money's been coming in on them, right? And that is that's likely sharp money or pseudo-sharp money, Jimmy the Bag. You know what I'm saying?
Cody Brown says I live 20 minutes away from Hilton Coliseum. It's a hard-ass place to play in. It's their only advantage, Jimmy. Man, I was in Chicago 2 years ago for the Sweet 16, and man, when the fucking Cyclones fans came in, they filled the whole entire fucking stadium. They went crazy.
Yes.
Now they got killed by Virginia, but they went crazy.
Yes, in football and in basketball, college Iowa State always a very dangerous underdog in any spot, and even with injuries, Jim.
Only Cale Reeves is the first guy coming in here saying like TCU.
Yeah, listen, I'm not secretly sitting here thinking like, man, Jim's on the wrong side. The game makes me nervous, and I just wanted to pull it. If it had moved to 7.5, I probably would have rolled with it at 6 and just been like, okay. But now that it's down to 5, I'm pulling.
Wow, Joey D's on the Iowa State money line. Okay, you guys, that's enough for me. I'll keep it. I'll stick it to it. Give me Iowa State full game.
You already took that one, didn't you?
No.
Oh, no, you didn't. Jim had Jim's picks officially were UNC -4, Virginia first half -9, Virginia -15, DePaul +19.5, and Alabama plus 8.5. All right, let's line chop for you here. We're gonna go to let's see, let's find it. Damn it, where the hell is? All right, Iowa State. If there are any 5.5s, yes, 5.5 -113. How about that, Jim?
Okay.
Iowa State plus 5.5 -113.
Okay, now let's go through all the additions to my card. This is in no particular order. I'm just going down from the top. I decided to take Georgetown this evening. Xavier had their 9-game winning streak snapped in an embarrassing 16-point home loss to Villanova. This is probably a bounce-back spot for them. One of those wins was a 96-91 win at home over these Hoyas. Xavier has a tough time with Georgetown's bigs. Derrickson, Pickett, and Govan combined for 33 boards. The Hoyas are 27th in the nation, bringing down just under 40 boards a game. Blewett put up 31. He kept Xavier from losing in that game. The Hoyas are playing much better. They have won 2 straight over Seton Hall and Butler. They're well rested. They've been off since February 13th. They're 10th in the nation with 17.6 assists a game, and no one gets more than Mulmore's 3.5. They all distribute the ball well. Ewing's doing a nice job, and I'm going to take Georgetown on the full game. Okay, that is definitely a pick in my leans column. Plus 5.5 -110 is the best line right now at Bet365 and a few other places. What else do you like here, Jim? Bet Abroad says, don't do it, Jimmy. ISU is no good, even with the Hilton Magic. And James Bond likes TCU. And Swiatek leans TCU. Kobe Valentine says, love Georgetown. Their last game was an OT, so it should be closer than the 5-point game it was last time. Native Queen, love Georgetown. First half over. A first half over. Yeah. Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. I saw it at 76, which is a little bit high. That was what I started off the show with, saying a lean to the first half over in Xavier Georgetown, 75.5 or 76. All right, what else do you have for us, Jimmy the Bag? Just one more line from Underdog Status saying, good play, Jim. Lost at home in OT, now getting 6 at home. Ewing has his team ready. Ewing has done a nice job here. Okay, now Providence is a game that I would like to talk more about. It's not an official play yet, so if we have time, we'll get to it. But I'd like just to hammer the official plays at this point, although I have almost a ton of these games capped, but not picks on all of them. Next play is Virginia Tech, full game. Clemson handled the loss of Dante Grantham, going 4-3 without him. Without both Grantham and starting point guard Sheldon Mitchell, they lost by 9 at home to Duke. Marquise Reed had 5 assists for Duke, but combined with backcourt mate Gabe Devo. They went just 4 for 24 from the field, turned the ball over a bunch of times. They've now lost 2 straight for the first time all year. Virginia Tech has now won 3 of 4. The 3-1 stretch began when senior Devin Wilson's return to the starting lineup. The key for the Hokies is Justin Robinson taking control of the game with Shelton Mitchell out of the lineup for Clemson. I am on Virginia Tech full game.
Okay, you want it on the full game. Okay, that best line right now would be -4, -115. This is a play that I did give officially in the morning show. I gave the money line, a little bit weak sauce, but I gave it -178 on the money line, and that money line has definitely gone up since then. So I agree with you on that one, Jim, and I'm thinking about doubling up on this, taking it on the first half.
Spread King Dingling says Virginia Tech my top play. Bet Abroad says I have a good friend inside of ISU. He said the locker room is fucked up right now.
Which locker room? Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yes, and when the locker room, when the place where people have to do their work is fucked up, they cannot perform. Some people know that, some people do not. Some people will never fucking get it. Jimmy the Bag, what are you going to do here?
Hide and Seek just said Jimmy just mushed big man's play. I have no idea which play it is.
Probably Virginia Tech.
Probably because he just came in about 10 or 11. You can suck my dick.
All right, yeah. So suck his dick, and now let's move on. -4. You want that one, Jim? Huh?
I am taking a -4.
-4, -115. I took it on the money line at -178. Jimmy the Bag, what else would you like to add here from college basketball?
I'm on Loyola Chicago tonight. Loyola Chicago has won 12 of 13. They clinched the NVC title with a win here. What better way to do it than on Southern Illinois' floor? The first time these teams met, Loyola Chicago held the Salukis to 23 first-half points and coasted the rest of the game. The Ramblers have too many weapons. They have 5 players averaging double figures. They shoot 42% from 3. Freshman center Cameron Krutwig is 6'9", 260 pounds. He's got 20 pounds on Salukis' biggest player, Kevin Pippen. I think they're going to take care of business on the Southern Illinois home court. Yeah. I'm taking Loyola Chicago full game to win the title.
On the spread here, let me find it. Last time I checked, it was down at 2. So money coming in on Southern Illinois. I'm vaguely agreeing with you, Jim. There, I don't necessarily. It is headed back up at Pinnacle, but we can still give you -2, -110 at Bookmaker and Heritage. Jim likes Loyola, Illinois. -2, -110. You looked into that game, Jim, didn't you? And Loyola Illinois is just a better team.
They're just a better team, and they dominated Southern Illinois at home. They just let the foot off the gas. They held them to 23 points, brought in the bench in the second half. I just think this is the class of the conference, and they want to win it here on the Salukis' home floor.
And I will add it as well. I agree with you, Jim. I thought at first I was thinking, all right, Southern Illinois is probably the sharp side. Then the more and more I looked into it and thought about it, I was like, no, man, Loyola Illinois is the play. We're going to take the Heritage line right now. Heritage and Bookmaker still have -2, -110, although it does appear to be headed up at Pinnacle. And we're on that one, Jim. Nice job on that one, Jim. What else do you have for us, Jim?
So then there's my Alabama play and Paul play. Okay, my next play is now I know some very sharp cappers that are not that are on the other side of this, but I am taking Louisville tonight, full game.
Who's on the other side of this?
Joey D. I know a few guys who think that Duke can smash Louisville, and I can understand that.
Sure,
I can understand that. But Bagley, questionable to return. He's not going to return. Coach K wants him to be completely healthy moving towards March. Duke's gone 3-0 without him. They've looked good. Sure. Delorier got his first start of the season, grabbed 10 boards, only got 2 points. Wendell Carter Jr. playing great, 3 straight double-doubles. Louisville's lost 4 or 6. They're coming off a disappointing 17-point home loss at home to North Carolina. Louisville has to step up here. This is such an enormous game for them. Their defense is not been playing well. They've allowed their opponents to shoot over 45% in their last 4 losses. Duke is first in the ACC, averaging 87.4 points per game. Dang, Adele, and Ray Spalding have the ability to take this game over with Bagley out of the lineup. They have the ability to keep it close. And I just think they're giving too many points. And sure, Duke can possibly beat Louisville with double digits. Now, the whole world's making fun of Louisville. They've been shat on for they've taken away their 2013 championship. Everybody is against Louisville right now. And when people do that, addressing them tends to come together. They like being put in the corner and fighting their way out of it. And this is a crucial matchup for Louisville, and I think they can step up.
Okay, a lot of comments here. We will get to the comments after we're done with this. All right, so you're going to take them on the full game. I already gave Louisville on the first half as an official pick. The line right now is, let me find the best line for you, Louisville. Let me find it. Where the hell is that? Okay, plus 11. No 11.5s anymore. We can give you plus 11 minus 110. That's it. Plus 11 minus 110.
Matt 2, 1984 NBA says Keenan Evans is playing now for Texas Tech. You know, I actually thought he was going to play all game, but just because he's playing, when you're dealing with the toe injury, you know, it's just questionable how he's going to play. That is a big difference maker. Matt 2 now likes Texas Tech at -3. I know a ton of people on Oklahoma State today, and I decided to let this off.
Yes.
I don't like the way Oklahoma State's been playing the last couple of games. I do like the way Texas Tech is playing. And even with Keenan playing, let's say his foot starts hurting. Like, it's just there's a lot of stuff out of our control. Last week they lost by Oklahoma State lost by 20 at TCU, 10 at home to Kansas State. They've not looked good, and I'm off of it.
Okay, I agree with you on that one. I'm totally passing on that one. What else do you have for us, Jimmy the Bag?
I have. Just rolling down here as fast as I can. I am on Tennessee. Full game. I think they send a message. Florida's lost 4 of 6. They're 3-4. That must be 3 wins, 4 losses. You're fucking overwhelmed today with all the games in road games this year. Florida's been breaking down late in games. I wouldn't take necessarily Tennessee on the first half, but Florida keeps breaking down late in games, and it's because they have nobody who can bang in the paint and get those buckets that you need to get. They're always taking shots from the perimeter, and yeah, that can work all game long, but when you need a bucket desperately, that's not where you want to take the shots from. Also, Grant Williams was held to a season-low 5 points on 1-8 shooting at Georgia on Saturday, and he's a heart and soul guy. He's not going to let that happen twice in a row. I expect a big bounce-back game from Grant Williams. Tennessee's lost 2 of 3. I expect them to step up. They've won 6 straight at home. And I'm telling you, if the Gators don't dominate on the perimeter, they will lose this game.
Yes.
They shoot 38% from 3. They'll have to hit better than that if they want to win. I'm telling you, when the buckets are hard to come by, Tennessee will take over. I'm on Tennessee full game.
That's what I was thinking as well. Again, I liked it at -5 on the overnight line. It is now down to 4, so a pretty solid market move there in favor of Florida. Tennessee on the money line was in my leans column, and I'm going to now join Jim, not on the money line, but on the spread, and we're going to get Tennessee -4, -102. That is the current line at Pinnacle. Tennessee -4, -102. A solid market move in favor of Florida, but I'm with you, Jim. I'm going to take Tennessee.
Steve Mapp says Tennessee fan on Florida, so you don't like hearing that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't like hearing that. I'm telling you, with Florida, I just don't see them getting the important buckets moving forward. Moving forward, I just think Tennessee's a heart and soul group. And Jace Gum says Tennessee is tough at home, so I like that play. Tough to win on the road in the SEC.
And my sense of that the reason why I'm taking the spread as opposed to the money line is because Florida is very up and down. You know, they can get. I wouldn't be surprised if Florida wins this one by 20 or loses it by 20. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Rick H is on Florida Gators. I don't like being against him. He's on the Florida Gators money line. R. Burke says bad call. Florida takes them.
That's not good, Jim.
That's not
good, Jim. All right. We don't have a lot of time here, Jim. What else do you want? Do you want to take it back?
No.
Okay. All right, Jim. What else do you want to give here, Jim?
This is my final play, and the market moved in a direction where Michael Lunde says I'm with you on Tennessee.
Is that good? Does he know what he's talking about?
I don't know Michael very well, but it was nice to read it, Michael. And I am happy that you're with me, my friend.
Yes, Michael. I don't know him very well either, but he seems like a swell chap to me. So that's nice to hear. All right. Let's see. Scott Sendelback says Loshak and Jimmy, weather at Oklahoma State is awful. Icy roads. I live by there. Crowd will be sparse. That might be the play, Jim, to take Texas Tech.
I'm not going to fool with that toe injury. But yeah, Manu 1984 NBA says, with you on Tennessee. Mr. Gogster says, let's catch this Tennessee play, Jimbo. John Arruda is on Florida.
The Kilted Chimp says Tennessee equals lost units. Wow. Okay. Highly controversial game here. Elio Rodriguez, Florida is due for a rout. JP Fahey, I'm on Florida money line. That's not good. A lot of people we respect are lining up on Florida here, Jim.
They certainly are.
A few guys we respect and one guy we aren't too familiar with, but who seems like a wonderful guy, are on our side, Jim. Motherfucker.
Well, Michael, please join us tomorrow for the victory celebration.
All right, Jim, what else do you have here?
Now, this is my final play, unless I add Providence to the equation. And this line moved to a point where I liked it. Now, you don't like seeing money go on the side that you're against, but they moved in a way that I like it. And I expect people not to like this spot. I am on Siena full game.
Okay.
Siena's at home, coming off a triple overtime heartbreaker versus Monmouth. They've lost 5 of 6. Fairfield's won 5 of 7, coming off back-to-back home wins over Marist and Quinnipiac. Fairfield defeated Siena at home earlier this year, 78-65. They only committed 6 turnovers. We talked about this on the early show. Evan Fisher had a terrible game, 0 points, 4 turnovers in 24 minutes. He has averaged 15 points a game in the 4 games since then. I think that 4.5 points is a nice little cushion for Siena, and I'm going to take them.
All right. Yes, it is a split line, 4 or 4.5, and 4.5 minus 110. Current line at Intertops and UWager and Bet365 and 5 dimes, actually. Pinnacle has 4 plus 100. And that's it for you, Jim, right?
That's it.
All right. So let's review all the picks that we've given, and then first let's get to some comments, okay?
Sure.
Then we'll review all the picks that we've given. Once again, these comments, we've had a lot of comments in today's show, and the comments only get saved for 200. So I'm going to start from the beginning, but anyone who posted before that, I'm not going to be able to see it.
Oh, Bet Abroad just said, I love Siena. Took them first half and full game.
Very, very
then
nice.
Chris IG right below it says, I got Fairfield -2. Not now it's at -4.5. Yeah.
Okay. Mitchell Chagas, my plays tonight. Virginia Tech -3. I agree with that. Pittsburgh +9. I agree with that. Tulsa -1.5. I agree with that. And Marquette -4.5. That game I am staying off of. Let's see other comments, personal comments here. We're skipping those. Marquette best scorer out from underdog status. Yes. Let's see. SM, what's the best NCAA late game since I'm wagering the whole night? LOL. USC, UNLV, or Boise State? Well, SM, I gave Boise State as a pick. I bet them at -1.5. They're now up to 2.5. And Boise State, an excellent team, but they're on the road against Colorado State. I bet Colorado State. I think I got +8. I gave that one as a pick, and that is now down to a 7 or 7.5. And the USC game, maybe we'll talk about that later, but that is just really not sure what to make of that one. That's going to be a pass for me. Okay, other comments going down.
Native Queen here. Games against the spread. Providence. Georgetown. Unless that's Georgia. Is Georgia playing? Yeah, Georgia.
Yes, Georgia is playing. Could be either one, but I doubt it's not Georgetown because Georgetown started. She wouldn't do that to us, would she? Native Queen also says took Mary first half and full game. Is Maryland playing tonight?
No.
Is William and Mary playing tonight?
No.
God, Native Queen speaks in friggin' tongues.
She's got Duquesne full game, Oklahoma State, North Carolina, and Evansville.
Wow.
But she's on Providence.
Yes, I'm on Providence as well. Kyle Ferguson. See, this is so mysterious. Native Queen says took Mary first half and full game. What could that mean, Jim? St. Mary's, Maryland. William and Mary?
She's explaining. Sorry, that's a comment to somebody who said something about a play that she'd made in the past. Yeah, that's a different one. So
good.
Don't get caught up
with the oracles, you never know. You know there's wisdom in it, but it's not always literal.
Josh Miller says Florida has a good record versus Tennessee recently, but they're at home, which today they are not. Or when they're at home, which today they're not. When on the road, they suck versus Tennessee, but this is a different Tennessee team than in recent years. I'm on Tennessee.
Bet Abroad says, did you just pass the Iowa game? We will revisit that in a second because I might add on Iowa as well. Although the plays in college basketball that I tend to add late have not been doing well for me. But okay, let's see. Alex Mulberry says UCF tonight. That's not looking. I'm not liking that. McGogster likes K-State and the under. Okay, I was leaning Kansas State as well. Mitchell Chagas likes Pitt +9. Let's see. Robin Spears says Pitt is trash. Yes, we know that. Let's see. Yes, Scott Sendelbeck says take K-State Loshak. I might do that one. Elio Rodriguez says I like Colorado State a lot more. Yes, I'm on Colorado State. Let's see. Mitchell Chagas says so is Wake Forest. Okay. Bet abroad, here we go. Iowa is for sure the play, Pete. I said this on the morning show. McCaffrey is coaching for his job these past few games. I am from Iowa, and there is rumblings the kids are playing to keep him around. And that line has gotten bet down, and Minnesota is certainly a vulnerable team. Okay, let's see. Other comments.
Native Queen loves Davidson first half team total over 36.
Okay, I took the first half over on that one at 61. Very, very nice. Let's see. Bet Abroad says my prediction is Iowa wins by 7 or more. Interesting. Nathan Stiff Parlay is excited for Alabama to cover against Auburn. Yes, and Jimmy and I got a good line on that one. Nice to see the reverse line movement, the U-shaped line movement, in that one. Melas Palas Way says Iowa State. Magzia says, is Virginia Tech -4 a good pick? Well, Jim and I think it is.
So does Scott Sendelbeck right now. It says, love your Virginia Tech pick. Jimmy and Loshak, K-State.
Oh, very, very nice. Very nice. Alex Mabry says, I like Iowa State. Okay.
Ulysses Hayes coming in saying North Carolina -4 is definitely the pick of the night.
Well, North Carolina, pick of the night. Wow. Okay. I'm thinking that I'm going to take the under on that one. That was definitely a lean, and a lot of my full game totals leans have been cashing recently. Ryan Money says San Jose State is 3-22. No way in hell are they giving 110%. Yeah, that's also the case. It's like sometimes these terrible teams come in and give their best punch, and sometimes they just don't give 100% ever. They do throw in the towel, and that's possible. It's just one pick, but I'm taking that one. All right, let's see. Mitchell Chaga says I think East Carolina and Pitt are big potential for a money line to pay out. Interesting. Melas Palas Way likes Eastern Carolina. Okay, there you go. Native Queen got a strong lean on Georgia Tech. GT, I think, means Georgia Tech, I assume. First half in game. No?
Yeah, must.
Yeah, that must mean Georgia Tech. Kobe Valentine loves Georgetown. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Art Mead, Pete, and Jimmy, do you have any opinion on the Cal State Fulton Riverside over under? I only got to do the totals up until the 9 o'clock game, so no, I do not. We are chugging along here. What else do we have? What else? Yep. Spread King Dingaling. Virginia Tech top play of the day. Interesting. Okay, Virginia Tech to dominate. Michelle Chagas, Kobe Valentine, love Virginia Tech. Everyone's liking that one. And Elwood, set 1266 BMOC likes Virginia Tech. Okay, moving on. Comments here. Scanning. Yep. G Money NHL Top Shelf loves Loyola Chicago tonight, Jimmy. Okay.
Nostratota's come in saying the Bonnies will wipe the floor with Duquesne tonight, and so will the Cavs with the yellow jacket. No yellow jackets. Yeah.
Here you go, Kobe Valentine. My buddy who is 25-3 in February in college basketball is on the Bonnies, -9.5, and Virginia -15.5. Those are not my plays. My buddy, the same guy, went hard on LSU last night, which we did have. I was leaning St. Bonaventure as well, but that line has taken a massive move against them, hasn't it? Why?
Yeah, that is a tricky spot, and I ended up staying off of it.
Okay, Rick H says, any curling tonight? Pete, sorry, Rick H did not have time to get into curling, although I would have loved to. I am kind of doing well in curling, kind of dominating a little bit in curling. Scanning more comments here.
Joe D's on the Georgia Tech team total under. He says here, I'd be surprised if Georgia Tech scores over 40.
Okay. Jimmy Malone says, Loshak looks like there has been some line movement up his nose. No, it doesn't, Jimmy Malone. It does not look like that. Okay, you're just wrong on that one. It does not look like that. All right, was one joke there. King Rail says, hurry, Jim, grab Pete an oxygen tank. I can't keep up. Just tore up my notes. Yes, listen, we're pressed for time, right? I'm trying to be clear and concise, but keep it moving forward. I think I'm doing an okay job here, right, Jim?
You're doing a hell of a job,
All right,
Pete.
okay. Rick H says, I'm just joking about curling, Pete. Rick H, I am not just joking. I have found, I've been killing it on curling.
Oh, Native Queen comes in and says, love Virginia first half.
Okay.
I've got that play. I got it at -9. Talk about beating the line.
Yes.
We said that in the morning show. I said, I'm taking advantage of the spot right now. I got it at -15. The best you can get, at least when I last looked, was -16.5.
Yes. Listen, I am not joking about curling. These Olympic lines can have great lines. In yesterday's afternoon show, of course, we said Lindsey Vonn should not be a favorite to get the gold. She is, on her way down. She's not in a good spot. And, of course, that one cashed. cashed, even though money continued to go up. I've given a bunch of underdog winners in curling. Really, the only big loser I had was my quote unquote favorite play, which was Sweden -1.5, just a -140 loss. But that was a loss. But I nailed Korea over Japan as a big dog. The United States over Great Britain as a big dog. Another big dog, I can't remember. But anyway, all right. So let's move on. Jack me off says North Carolina first half -2 play of the day. All right. So yeah.
Bet Abroad here says I would lean Duquesne plus the points because of front court play, and then our Bert comes in and says Bet Abroad good play on Duquesne plus the points. So.
DJ Big Boss says, so are y'all on Nevada or San Jose? DJ Big Boss, we are on San Jose. I think it is possible that San Jose is just throwing in the towel on this season and that they will come in here and give even less of a percent than Nevada does because Nevada is dealing with injuries. That's possible. You know what I mean? It's possible that Nevada comes in here and gives 70% and San Jose comes in and gives 30%. You know what I'm saying? And then Nevada probably will cover even the 22, even if they're not trying. But I like San Jose State here, and we're going to take it.
Ulysses Hayes says, I love Alabama tonight. So we're all with you there, Ulysses.
Yes.
Finally. I've spent too many of our bets. We're against each other. Nice to be on your side, man.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we quickly move on to NHL? Jim, recap your opinions and your thoughts on NHL. Then we'll come back to college basketball, where I will add on my final leans that I want to convert into official picks. I have no picks on NHL tonight. I'm going to leave this all to Jim, who is still up in the mid-20s. Jim has taken 2 underdogs in the morning line. In the morning show, he took Ottawa and Calgary, and both of those underdogs moved in his favor about 10 cents. Nice job, Jimmy. Talk about NHL, Jim the Bag.
I really like this spot. Now, I know a bunch of guys who are on the Blackhawks puck line and the Golden Knights puck line, but I've had success when I've taken 2 dogs that I believed in, when all you need is one to hit for a nice profit. And I think this is a perfect situation here. I think the Senators, although they have Condon in net, so I know a lot of people like the over. I don't trust the Blackhawks offense. Senators are playing better. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Stone is playing great. Now, there could be a trade at any time, which makes both these teams feel uncomfortable. There's no advantage there. I think that everybody should be fired in Chicago Blackhawks management. And the Blackhawks should not be this big of a favorite against any team in the National Hockey League. It's a mistake. That's why it's moved in my direction, just because Blackhawks don't deserve it. Not that the Ottawa Senators are that good, but that the Blackhawks don't deserve it. So I'm getting plus 160 there. And secondly, every team is going to have a dry spell, no matter how magical they are. I was on the Ducks to take out the Knights. The Knights didn't do that well creating offense. They played against a team that had the new goalie come into the third period, and they still didn't put sustained pressure on him till late in that third. So, yeah, Flames are a great road team. I don't like that their moms are on the trip, but somebody did mention this, but there won't be a lot of partying in Vegas last night with their moms there. And you've talked about how teams do better when they don't have that night to party in Vegas.
Because they're hanging out with their moms.
Yeah.
Right. I guess that is true.
Yeah, and so if we know that the Flames' moms are, sleeping right in the room with these kids.
Like, now, don't do any mushrooms while I'm asleep. That's not funny. Don't do that, okay? And no cocaine, okay? No cocaine. So, not marijuana. It's a gateway drug.
You're absolutely right. You're right. You're all the way through the gateway at that point. So I think, at first, obviously, the Hurricanes had their moms with them. They lost. They were in New Jersey. This is a little bit of a different spot because it looks like, they'll keep the kids out of trouble. I think I'm getting a ton of value on the Flame Senators. Just need one to get there, and I really like it. And then this Stars-Ducks game, I'm afraid I don't trust Ryan Miller. He looked great. He's looked great at home, but there's only 4 games. I mean, how do you make reasonable decisions based on 4 games? It's just the sample size is too small, and he's looked terrible in February. And in February, we're talking about at least a bigger sample size than the amount of times he's played at home. And I've watched Ryan Miller very closely throughout the year. And now he knows he's going to be starting every day with Gibson hurt. I don't like it. And the Stars could be in a bounce-back spot. I like the Ducks better than the Stars, but I'm staying off that game. All
right, Jimmy the Bag, I'm looking at the Marquette-St. John's game. You said Marquette has been slowing it down. Where are you seeing that? Their last 3 road games were very high scoring, all went over. I mean,
Marcus Howard being out of the lineup is going to slow the pace down. There's just no way that that won't happen. Now, I think that they need to start bringing Henry Froling into the game. And when you play against St. John's and you know that St. John's is going to play this fast transition defense, I expect but in saying all that, your total's Loshak, and I don't have a play on this total. So
all right, I'm going to take it. I'm definitely going to take at least the first half over, and I might double up on it as well. They did play recently. It was a very high-scoring game. The first half went under. It was a low-scoring first half, so I'd have to go check back and see whether that was just shenanigans in the second half. But I feel like it's probably. I'm looking for a lot of first half overs in general on today's card. I would almost blindly bet them all, and I will throw that one on there. It's just 72 at Intertops and Pinnacle and Heritage and all those places. So I'm going to take the Marquette first half over 72 minus 110. I'm going to take that one. I would also lean to the full game over on this one as well. Jimmy the Bag, are you done with NHL, Jim?
Yeah.
All right. So where are we now, Larry? How many more minutes do we have? What?
We have 4 more minutes.
4 more minutes. Okay. Once again, let's just quickly talk about the Olympics. I did not have any time to look at curling. I did play the over in the women's hockey game, which is understandable why the line's been moving down and why some people disagree with that, because it's a championship game. They usually play tight. They already played once this year, and it was a 2-1 game in one of the preliminary rounds. So that went under, and you would expect a championship like this to be under, game to go under. But I think that both teams they're coming off of both scoring 5 goals in a game. The reports are that they've both been working on getting higher percentage shots and focusing on offense. So I'm taking the over 4. That's my only Olympics pick. I'm sure I could find some winners in curling tonight, but just plumb ran out of time. All right, so back to college basketball. I'm throwing on the Marquette first half over 72 minus 110. Other leans that I had were the UNC Syracuse game. I don't really want to double up on that one, and sometimes the first halves can be the best ways to go on those Syracuse unders when they're at home. So I'm definitely leaning under. The line is headed up. It opened at 143. It's now all the way up to 146.5 at Heritage. Leaning first half under, leaning full game under, and you know what? I will. What the hell? I'll double up on it. What the hell, Jim? I'm going to double up on it. I might eat 2 losses here, but I will take the first half under and the full game under. The full game under right now I will take is, where is it? 146.5 minus 110. That is the current line at Heritage. 146.5 minus 110. And let me go to the first half under here and see what the line is for that one. Yep, 68. All right, I will. How is North Carolina from the outside? Can they shoot over that zone, Jim?
Well, Luke can. We know that that's a problem. We know that's a problem for North Carolina. But I still think that clearly when Syracuse loses the board battle, they lose the game.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a team with the biggest board margin. And also, Syracuse was a good rebounding team until they got into conference play. As soon as they got into conference play, that rebounding advantage that they had kind of went out the door.
All right, I'm not going to double up on it. I'm just going to take the full game under 146.5 minus 110. If I'm wrong on this one, also a lot of times in Syracuse games, the first half can go way over, and then the second half goes super under, and you cash the second half under by a mile and even wind up sneaking under the full game total. So I'm just going to take the full game under on that one, 146.5 minus 110. I'm just gonna keep going here until Larry tells me to fucking stop. Let me see, Iowa. And by the way, Larry is totally on our side. Larry does not want to tell us to stop. If it was up to Larry, this would be a 2-hour show every day. This would be not 24/7, right, Larry? No, Larry is totally on our side. He's just, he's the man pays him, not us, and he's got to do what the man tells him, right?
We
Larry?
love Larry.
We love Larry. And what did the man tell you about this show? Cut him off at 10 minutes to 7, right? Man. Absolutely. Larry's a good dude. Listen, Jimmy the Bag, what do we want to do about Iowa? Do we want to trust this guy and take Iowa and just take him blindly against Minnesota? What do you think, Jim?
Well, it's not something I like to get in the habit of doing, but it does make sense. Everything he's saying makes sense. What's the line that we get?
Well, it's 1.5 right now. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take him on the first half. Now, I got burned doing this before when I liked Maryland over Northwestern. I took him only on the first half because I knew that I was going to take him on the second half if they were down. They lost the first half. I bet the second half, and then they covered. So I'm going to take Iowa first half +1 minus 115. That's the current line at Bet365 and UWager. And I guess let me just quickly scan all these. Larry's Larry's gesticulating. Let me just quickly scan.
He is gesticulating.
He's gesticulating.
Does anybody on the comment chat right now give me what they think about this Iowa Minnesota?
also
I
gonna
think
do?
he was right. I think the guy has a lot of knowledge on that spot.
I'm also going to take the St. Bonaventure full game over 149 minus 110. The full game over 149 minus 110. Would love to take the Fordham Davidson full game over. Any of the games that start after 7 o'clock that I really want to add to my record, I will tweet those out, and those will absolutely count. Jimmy the Bag.
Okay, Rick H, R. Burke, these guys I trust. We have an inside man doing a good job. I am taking Iowa. I'm adding Iowa. Fade Minnesota. Makes sense.
Okay.
Give me Iowa full game.
Full game. Money line or spread, Jim?
Spread.
What?
Spread.
Spread. Let me find it. Where the hell is that game? Iowa plus 1.5. Plus 1.5 minus 109. Plus 1.5 minus 109, Jim. And I guess on that note, we will wrap this shit up. Once again, any plays that I tweet out on the 8 o'clock or later shows will count against my record or for my record, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what
We
you're
just
saying.
got to wrap it up because on Wednesdays we got to wrap it up early. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern.
Thanks so
time.
much, everyone.